Alright gang, today we got patch notes. We are covering patch notes from yesterday for Warzone. This is going to only apply to Warzone and Warzone Ranked. We are not covering multiplayer patches today. C4 reverted the change that was preventing C4 from being detonated mid-flight. That was mad annoying. There have been a few times in Rebirth, like in Resurgence, when I'm grabbing C4 off drop. Obviously I'm not running C4. Still, you throw it to get a knock. If someone's pushing you, you have to reload something. It's not going off. Super frustrating. MTZ 556 is going to be our weapon adjustments. This is going to be the big changes here. Increase bullet velocity to 690 from 650. That is pretty noticeable. The Holger 556 adjusted recoil and gun kick to decrease deviation, allowing more predictable pattern. The Holger 556 has a pretty solid like TTK, pretty solid damage. Giving it this less of a visual recoil is a huge dub for this gun. It's not going to make it meta, but it's going to make it more viable 100%. The M16 got a buff. Decreased horizontal and vertical recoil by 20%, decreased gun kick by 20%, decreased visual recoil by 18%. Changes to the M16 were released before today's game update. They came out Monday, I believe. I want to say it was Monday, not too sure. RAM 9, let's see, decreased minimum and maximum fire rate accuracy by 10%, increased aim down sight time to 220, up from 200, so that is a nerf. Striker, decreased aim down sight time as well. Or no, decreased aim down sight time. So ADS on the Striker's dumb fast. Increased bullet velocity as well. Striker got a buff, that's very impressive. There's probably going to be a lot of builds for the Striker for sniper support with the increased bullet velocity. I can't see it being like up close meta right now though. There's too many good options. Decreased flinch resistance to the 0.15 in down. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about right there, but we're going to trust them. I'll tell you that much. The Moors corrected an optic misalignment causing shots to travel slightly off center. We talked about this in another video. The only way I can explain this, if this is your crosshair when you ADS and you're not holding your breath, it's going to do this like randomized pattern, okay? Even when you're like not aiming, you'll notice a little dot in your screen will like have this little drift, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Even if you were to trace a pattern, you won't ever find a pattern where you can mimic the like anti-correct how this is going to be moving. The problem with this is if this is your target and it was moving and you put your target, you know, aim right at the target, when you'd ADS, your crosshair would be off center. It's moving out here. It wasn't exactly where the center dot of your screen was, which is a massive problem. I'm glad they finally corrected that. Let's see, Moore's Hexer Optic removed aim on sight speed benefits, so it definitely got a nerf. Suppressor muzzle added compatibility with all MW2 submachine guns. That's a pretty unique dynamic. We'll probably see another meta arise from the MW2 submachine guns, but until then, we're chilling. We're eating good with submachine guns. Bug fixes. Fix an issue preventing high trip challenges. No one cares about that. Fix an issue where Signal Intelligence public event would complete other hacking contracts. Mosquito drones to disappear in players' hands when hit by a shock stick. It's honestly kind of gas. Like, keep that a thing. Fixed an issue causing players to hear incorrect VO from biometric scanners. And then causing the amount of bots spawning in boot camp playlists to be inconsistent. Could be gas, kind of flood people out. So overall, this is our patch notes. To give you a quick run through, we'll just say buff or nerf. This buff, all of these ARs got a buff. I'm very excited about the M16 buff. The damage on it's not super insane, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Not in ranked, but in like pubs. To pub stomp, the M16 will be absolutely gas. RAM 9 nerf, Striker buff, WSP Swarm got a buff. Overall, the Moors got a nerf. Nothing to damage. It's just a crosshair, ADS, stuff like that. A little bit of a nerf. But we are chilling after everything. I'm surprised they didn't touch base with the HRM, maybe a little bit, the SOA Subverter. But the SOA Subverter, as good as it is, there are other options to combat that, undoubtedly. Gang, listen, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, hit that sub button. Crush that like button. I'll catch you all tomorrow for another heater. Let's get it.